What's up guys? Today's video is going to be a two-part video. It will be a holiday party get ready with me, and in this part 1, I will be doing my makeup. So kind of just like a really pretty holiday glam that you guys can recreate for any holiday parties you have coming up. And then in part 2, I will be doing my hair. I have been getting so many requests from people asking how I style my hair and how I curl my hair. And so I'm gonna film that for you in part 2. So let's jump right in to part 1 and get this face where it needs to be going. First up, I am going in with the Cover FX Illuminating Primer. Most of you know by now this is my go-to primer. I'm getting very low on this, so I need to replenish it, but just gonna start off by applying that all over. I'm really gonna focus on the high points in my face with this because you kind of want this to be like your first highlighting step. You can see like I'm hitting my cheekbones, I'm hitting the center of my forehead, the bridge of my nose, a little here, and a little on my chin. This isn't gonna highlight you, it's just gonna make you look a lot more glowy than you normally would if you don't go in with a primer or if you go in with a more mattifying primer. Next, I'm going in with my Cover FX Natural Finish Oil-Free Foundation. I'm in the shade G30 right now. I'm probably a little bit lighter than this, but I like to go a tad darker than my skin tone just because the rest of my body is a little bit darker than my face. I'm going to be applying that with my Morphe M439. I know a lot of people love to apply their foundation with a beauty blender. It gives you that nice airbrushed look, but that beauty blender is going to eat a lot of your product. So I like to apply it on a brush first, and then we'll go over top with the beauty blender to give that kind of airbrush finish. So I'm just going to place this all over the face so that it's evenly distributed before I really like start blending in. This foundation is so beautiful. I just feel like it's so skin-like. Then I'm just gonna grab my beauty blender and press out any lines or like weird spots that I feel like aren't blended in enough. But honestly, that blended in so seamlessly, I don't need to do much of this. Next up is concealer. I'm going in with the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. I'm sorry, this looks so nasty. I mix a couple of shades. This is not light neutral, and I do like a little bit of that here. Don't need a lot of this. It is the most full coverage concealer. So I just like to do like tiny little dabs. And then a little on my eyelids. This is gonna double as my eye primer. It's crazy how pigmented my eyelids are. Like, they're a completely different color than my face. They are straight purple and the veins are real. Does anyone else have like super veiny eyes? Like, I feel like whenever I'm doing people's makeup, I don't notice them, and then I do mine and I'm like, what is the deal? All right, blending this out. I really want to make sure I blend it into the entire eye, the inner corner, the lid, everything, because we're going to do like a pretty bomb, if I do say so myself, eye look today, and I want to make sure I'm starting with like a really blank canvas. Okay, I actually do want to go a teeny bit brighter under my eyes, so I'm going back in with Shape Tape, but this is Light Sand. It's a teeny bit lighter, and I'm just going to hit like right here with that. I just want to make sure that I am as bright as I can be under my eyes. Sometimes you just need to go like one shade lighter to get it where you need it. And I just feel like that looks so much better. Next, we are going to set all of that liquid product with our translucent powder. This is the Cover FX translucent powder. This is one of those like I repurchase all the time products. I'm just gonna stamp that onto the back of my beauty blender. I'm just gonna kind of press it into those areas that are always creasing or getting oily, or, you know, those places where the makeup just like moves around. Definitely want to set the eyelids with powder. Then I like to just go in with a regular powder brush and grab a little bit more of that here and just kind of place it everywhere else. Like, I'm going to be going with bronzer right here, so I want this set. And I want to make sure that I've kind of dusted off all the like remnants of this translucent powder, just so we're good. Now it's time to fill in my brows. So normally I would do this off camera, but I have been getting some brow tutorial requests. I'm gonna make a whole new brow tutorial video, but I figured I would just kind of give you a quick rundown of how it goes. This is the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil. You'll see that there's a spoolie on one side and a pencil on the other. I am in the shade number 3, and I absolutely love this product. This one I feel like just gives me a more natural looking brow, and I have a lot more control because I'm not using a pomade, I'm using this pencil. So I'll zoom you in a teeny bit. I start right at the top and I just kind of draw these hairline strokes. So it's like I'm actually pretending that there's hair in the areas that there is not hair. So find all those like kind of sparse areas. From there, I'm gonna add a little bit of a line here just to make this a little more defined. I'm constantly brushing them up. I can easily clean things up with my finger, just kind of wipe things away that are not supposed to be there. Eyebrows are one of those things that you really have to practice at because everyone's brows are different. And I'll tell you, I have days where I'm like, damn, I killed the brow game. And then I have days where I'm like, I look like an absolute idiot. Okay, that's about where I want it to be. Then I go over it with a brow gel. This is Double Duty Beauty from Tarte. And I'm just going to kind of fill in any other areas that are a teeny bit sparse, and it's just gonna make them stay where I put them because they will not stay up. Next, we're gonna bronze up the face. I'm gonna leave the eyes for last just because, I don't know, this is how I always do my makeup. I don't know, something about not having bronzer on my face, I don't like it. I don't like it. Tarte Park Ave Princess Amazonian Clay Matte Waterproof Bronzer. That's a mouthful, but here it is. I'm actually going to be using a different bronzer brush than I normally use. I don't even think this is technically a bronzer brush. It's a powder blush. It's the Sigma F10. And I like to just kind of work it up. So, like, work it into the skin like this. I've been liking this technique a lot more recently, as opposed to just kind of going ham with my huge brush. It just allows me to be a little bit more precise. I'm just kind of working that in up onto the temple, okay, and then a little bit on my jawline and down my neck. So you can see the difference in like the shape of my face. So this side looks like a little bit thinner or just a little bit higher cheekbone. This one is just kind of my actual face. Now that we've bronzed, I'm gonna go back into my translucent powder with this bad boy, my beauty blender, and I'm gonna kind of press this down the side of my nose like that on both sides, and then I'm also gonna carve out this contour line. Moving on the eyes, the eyeballs. Let's get the eyeballs down. I want to do a really shimmery look. Let me get all my palettes in front of me. I have been loving this palette recently. It is the Tarteiste Pro to Go. It's so tiny and cute, so I can bring it with me. But it just has really good, like, holiday shades. I'll show it up close to you guys. I'm going to do something with this, definitely. I'm going to probably dabble in my Jaclyn palette and then a little bit in the Tartelette Toasted palette as well. Zoom it in so you can really see the eyeballs. Okay, so going in at first with the shade Latte or any kind of light brown transition shade that you have. And I'm just going to apply this right here. And this is going to give us a good place to start. If you're working in the Tartelette Pro to Go, that shade Drive is a really good first transition shade. They're really similar, honestly. I'm going to pop a little bit of that on top of it just to mattify things even more. Before I go in with any darker shades, I'm going to put a little translucent powder right here. Catch fallout, but also to kind of create a nice line for myself. This is probably my favorite shadow in the Jaclyn palette. I freaking love this shade. I don't know what it's called because I have the original palette without the names on it, but it's this shade right here. So I'm going to really, with a light hand, apply this only here on the eye. So only here. I'm not bringing it in, I'm not bringing it up, I'm not bringing it out. I'm keeping it right here. I'm just tapping it in. I'm also working in circular motions, but I'm so light-handed right now, and I really like to just tap this product in and not like whoosh. Oh, I love this shade. So pretty. I'm gonna grab a clean brush, any clean eyeshadow brush you have, and just kind of like work this in so there's no harsh lines. I'm just grabbing like a slightly more precise brush, and I'm gonna go in with, staying in the Jaclyn palette, and I'm going in with two shades that are similar but a little bit deeper. So this guy and this guy. This is more of a brown and this is more of like a darker purple. You can see it's just a teeny bit on the tip of my brush. And that I'm keeping right here. Even more precise than the last shade, just like right in this outer crease right here. Make sure you guys can see. Just like that. Oh, I love this. So you can see we're just kind of building up the intensity a little bit. I'm going to use two shimmer shades. First one is going to be in the Tarte Pro to Go, and it's the shade Dominate. It's like this really pretty purpley shimmer. I will show you it on my finger. Look at that. Has like some nice gold undertones. It's gorgeous. So I'm actually just going to apply that with my finger, and I'm going to keep it right on top of those dark shades right here. I'm just pressing that onto the lid. Just like that. Oh, oh, mama. I'm grabbing a clean brush and blending that in the crease because I don't really want the shimmer shade on the crease. I just want it on the lid. And sometimes it gets up there, so we just want to blend that out. And then this one is from the Jaclyn palette. I don't know the name of it, but I'll show it to you. And this one's also from the Jaclyn palette. This one and this one. And the lighter one will be on the inner corner, and the more pinky toned one is going to be on the lid. And again, just applying that with my finger, pressing that on. You kind of want those colors to fade into each other, so bring it all the way next to where we stopped the purple shimmer. Okay, and then I'm going to put a touch of the really light shade right in the center right here. I'm going to do a little bit of a halo effect, but it's just going to be like the one shade that connects the two. I was thinking about putting that on my inner corner, but I'm feeling like we're going to put the highlight there, so. Okay, now I'm just going to wipe this powder away. You can see it's not like a super defined cut line, which is what I wanted. I want it to look kind of blended, but a lot cleaner than it would be had we not done the translucent powder. Lower lash line is going to be super basic, so just grabbing a more precise brush. This is the E17 go-to lower lash line brush. And I'm really just like mixing all the shades we use on the lid, and I'm applying them to this brush and then right onto the lower lash line and bringing that all the way in here, blending that out. So you just want to make sure you're using a light hand on that because you're probably going to get a little bit of fallout because it is such a dark shade. That's fine, just wipe it away. Okay, eyes are pretty much done other than I'm going to pop on these lashes. These are the House of Lashes. This is what they look like. They are in the style Siren Mini. Make sure when you apply your lash glue, oh, I'll tell you what I'm using. I always use the Duo Dark Tone Lash Glue. I just find it works the best. But make sure you let it dry and get really tacky before you apply it. So I have my mirror right here, and I'm just going to like put it directly underneath me. I'm going to look down, and that's how I'm going to place the lash right onto my lash line. And you want to put it right in the middle, and then it's going to fall on either end exactly where you want it to be. So start it right in the middle. And I'm using tweezers, but if you're a beginner, get some lash, whatever they're called, lash tweezers. Oh, I also feel like this could be a cool New Year's look now that I'm doing it. There we go, she's on. So you can see, it's a subtle difference, but now I don't have to go crazy with eyeliner. I'm hoping these stay down. The corners of my lashes always pop up, always. Someone told me it's because of the shape of my eye. So sick. I'm gonna add a little mascara over that so that my real lashes blend with the falsies. Depending on the color of your hair, you can get away with it. Like if your hair is dark and you have dark lashes, you're probably fine. But my eyelashes are actually pretty light. Oh, this is the Tarte Man Eater mascara. Can you believe I'm not using the L'Oreal Telescopic? I just ran out, so I'm using what I have. But I really like this mascara. This is one of my go-to blush shades. I always use it when I'm doing like these type of shades. So this is called Goule, and it's from Nars. And I've had this little guy forever, but I'm telling you, it's so hard to get through all my makeup. Sigma F15 blush brush. So I just like to smile and find the apples of my cheek and then work it in and work it all the way back to my temple. Something about like a flushed cheek in the winter I just think is so cute. And then I'm gonna do a little bit on the tip of my nose, just a little. This is the Laura Mercier highlight in 01, and it's really light, but I feel like it's gonna like give me that holiday like snow. It's really, really light white, but has like a champagne-y undertone. I don't know. I think it's gonna complement this look. So I'm using my Morphe M501, and always hit the Cupid's bow. Someone asked me the other day why I do this, so I will tell you. It's to make your top lip look a little bit more plump. So when you highlight things, it brings them forward. So if the top part of your lip is highlighted, it's gonna look a little more pouty, plump. That's why you highlight the cheekbones, because we want our cheekbones to look high. This highlight is pretty sick. All right, and then I'm gonna grab a little bit of that on my finger and I'm gonna hit the inner corner. And this, I feel like, brightens everything up. It ties everything together. And this is my new favorite lip liner I got. It is the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Lip Pencil, and it's in the shade Peyote. I think it's just the perfect shade for my lips, so whenever I line them, it just looks like my lip. It doesn't look like I'm overlining my lips, you know what I mean? I like to focus the lip liner like right here, right on the Cupid's bow, and then I follow my natural line. But if you're overlining, just overline at the top. Don't overline the whole lip because then you're gonna look like a clown. Trust, it's happened. And this shade really complements the eye look that we have happening. And I'm actually gonna fill my entire lip in with the lip liner because I love the shade and I don't really want to do a lipstick. I'm just gonna pop a gloss on top of this, but I love the shade of this. If you ever feel like things got too crazy, because lip lining is hard, you can grab your beauty blender and put a little foundation or concealer on it and just kind of pat it out, and that's gonna make everything a little bit more clean. For gloss, I am using the Dose of Colors Over the Top gloss. It's like my favorite lip topper right now. It just gives you like this gold champagne shimmery finish. Last but not least, we are setting. I am using the Cover FX Dewey Finishing Setting Spray. In the winter, I like to transition over to this guy because it makes me feel even more hydrated. It just gives you like a little bit more luminousness. That's it. This is the final look, you guys. If you want to see part 2, I will put it in the description box below, and that will be a full hair tutorial to go with this look. The full holiday party get ready with me. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Mwah. Ta-la-la-la-la.